there, it's Chelle and Clint
Hello, everybody. Don't forget, and Wilbur.
and Wilbur and all the cats. Anyways, today we are making a card. I wasn't sure how this would turn out, so I thought I would do a voiceover. I am using Bristol paper because I'm going to do some watercoloring on this. And what I'm doing is I'm just cutting out a rectangle here, and I'm just using my paper cutter for that. And I'm not sure of the measurements, but you can do any size that you want, and you can even use a die for this, and I think that would work fine. I just didn't have, just a square or rectangle die. So I am just cutting that out, and then I'm going to use some stamps. So as you can tell, Sophia is helping me cut out. I didn't even realize she was up there when I was doing the video or making the card. So yeah, I just did a rectangle on one side. And then I chose the stamp set, Santa Coming. This is one of my stamp sets from Little Acres Creations. And I'm just kind of putting them on here. And we're going to stamp below the square. So, and of course I'm using my Misty because that is the easiest thing to use for this particular card. Like I said, I haven't done this card before, but it is a magic slider card, and it was so fun, but it did take me like an hour and a half to complete. So I am kind of rearranging my stamps here, and you'll see that, and then we will stamp on the back or on the bottom, and then we'll do another stamp on top. So I'm going to put this part to some music and speed it up so that you don't have to just watch me, because what I'm doing here right now is not what I ended up with. I am using a watercolor friendly ink, and I believe I chose Jet Black by Lawn Fundamentals, and it's also Copic friendly, but it's, double. There you go. And like I said, we're just going to use that. You have to use the correct ink. So I know when I use the watercolors, they're not going to smear with this. So you'll see I will change inks for another element here. And I went ahead and covered that up, and now we're going to print on top of that card. And because you want a little bit of coverage over the top, just to kind of, I don't know, just give it some interest, I guess. And I really liked that. This is a card that I picked up from Christina Warner of Christina Warner Designs, or maybe it's just Christina Warner. But yeah, and I'm just using my stamps in my card for this. And for this card, you're going to need some acetate. So I am reusing some acetate that came with my stamp set, and I'm just going to cut it down. We're going to stamp on this using StazOn ink. And because that's a sticky ink and it will dry on acetate, if you used any other ink, there's a possibility it would not dry. So yeah, I'm just using a StazOn ink. It's very permanent. So I actually just bought it for this type of cards. years ago, and I think this is the first time I've ever used it. Crazy. So yeah, we're gonna do that. When you're using your Misty and you're using the Stays On ink, it is very sticky, so it will pull up my acetate. So therefore, it's really, because I'm off camera here, obviously, but it's very important to go ahead and have a corner that's totally lined up. So hopefully you get a really good impression. Mine did kind of move a little bit, but it wasn't enough to worry about. So I'm going to stamp that a few times here. And now I am just going to use some Zig Real Brush markers, which are a watercolor marker, to watercolor this image. So that's the only place I'll be putting color. And I'm just choosing some greens, some reds, and some blues. And I'm just going to color that up, and I'm going to speed that up and put that to some music for you guys. Okay, and I just cut down some strips. And what we're going to do is we need another piece, and it's going to be our slider. It's just going to be a solid white piece of paper that we can slide up and uncover our colored area. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to put these little strips on the bottom so that it doesn't come through our slide. So I'll be cutting a slit at the fold, and then we'll slide it up. And hopefully that will make more sense here. If you want to see a more detailed card made like this, certainly let me know. Like I said, this took me an hour and a half, but it was kind of figuring out all the elements. But what you're going to do is you're going to use these little strips, and you're going to kind of build up like we would do a secret pocket or something like that, where you just pull it up, but you don't want the tag to come out. So hopefully I have that on camera. But I was thinking this would be a fun thing to use for junk journals. So I have a couple of ideas. So I'm hoping to bring all of this together, you know, into more of a junk journal style. So we are going to put a stopper on the piece that's going to slide, and that's so it doesn't come all the way out of the card. And then I am going to put pieces all the way around, and I'll kind of put that to music so that you guys can kind of, hopefully you can get the idea if I'm actually on camera. I don't know what happened to me this day, I tell you. Okay, now it's time to add our acetate. So I'm going to use a really sticky piece of double-sided tape. And what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of trimming down the acetate so that it fits and fits in there perfectly, because you really want this to be perfect setup. So what I'm going to do is put my acetate down, and then on the opposite side around the rectangle, we're going to put really sticky tape. And then we're just going to make sure it's lined up 100% perfect, because it's going to be really hard to move things around, and wet glue for this does not work very well. So yeah, we're going to do that and pull it off, and hopefully we get it lined up correctly, and then we'll put it together. And here I'm just going to do some trimming, make sure my fold or my pull out isn't too long, and kind of clean up any of the edges. Okay, and then you just want to make sure all the components are lined up correctly. You have your little piece in there, and you're going to fold it all, fold it and glue it down. But make sure it's all right, because this is where you can mess up your card. Thankfully, I did not do that.
Look at that.
Sorry, I had to take a Arctic Love on break.
Which isn't very
That's
often.
really unusual for him, but he climbed up on my computer and was rolling all over, and I was getting his belly and tried to trim his nails, which he didn't like. Okay, so now I want to kind of cover up some of the smudges on the white, because using all that ink and stuff, it kind of got smudgy. And so I saw this piece of paper, and I'm just cutting it down, and I will just add that on the two edges, just to kind of bring it all together and make it a little bit fancier. Okay, and I love how this turned out. It was just so fun to pull up on it and have that little magic piece. But I felt like it needed something that says, hey, pull me, kind of. So what I did is I just took some ribbon that I had nearby, and I made a couple of slits in the pull tab, and I added the ribbon. And then I just cut a dove's tail, whatever that thing is called, in the top of it, and I think it absolutely turned out so cute. So let me know what you think, and if you want me to do a more detailed card like this. I think now I kind of got it down, so it would be fun to show. So thanks for watching. Be sure and hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you guys in the next video. See you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for visiting. Touch zines.